Hello, citizens of the YouTube multiverse. It's Darth Cobain 17 coming back at you on a Sunday because my Saturday was crazy busy with my son's theater rehearsal. I donated blood. I had a playoff game at ball hockey, so I could not fit anything much else into yesterday. But it's Sunday morning, and I found many hours at my disposal. Many hours at my disposable. Wow, you can tell it's the morning. Just like last night when I did my Leafs video, you could tell it was late at night because I'm anyways, another Transformers unboxing. Today's is, as I mentioned last week, one of my very favorite of the original Autobot vehicles. After Wheeljack, Hound, Optimus Prime, like my top guys, this guy would probably arguably be the next guy in line as my favorite. And the Autobot in question is Jazz. Oh wait, there's no picture here, bro. Anyways, we'll see what's in here after. But as you can see from the images there, Jazz is he is a white and blue Porsche, and he was. Although Optimus Prime had a few different Autobots that were kind of like his oldest friends and most trusted confidants, Jazz was probably his official second in command. If Prime was out of the action, things would fall on Jazz's shoulders to become the new leader. Jazz was very much he loved Earth and Earth culture. He loved music, especially. I swear I can't talk this morning. He had, in his Porsche mode, he had these speakers that could come out and blast music, and he loved to blast music, and it's not only music, but he loved everything about Earth culture and taking in the sights and the sounds and learning everything he could about it. And because of that, he was good friends with the Earthlings, like Spike and Sparkplug and those guys. And here's a couple of clips of him. One featuring his robot mode with Spike, and then another one in his the first one is in his vehicle mode with Spike, and the second one in his Autobots robot mode, doing a roll call of all the other Autobots. Here it is.
Wow, you picked up a great beat on your supercar stereo, Jazz.
You dig it, huh, Spike? Well, let me ramp up the decibels for you.
Yeah, get down.
Oh, look out!
Oh no, a traffic jam. Everybody's leaving the buildings.
Blackout City. We better check in with Autobot headquarters.
And that's all we heard, Prime. They're going to put the energy in some kind of cube, then haul it back to Cybertron.
Jazz, organize a battle unit. We're going after them. Pow! Trailbreaker! Wheeljack! Ironhide, Mirage, Sunstreaker! Sideswipe! Autobots, start your engines! Ready, Prime. Let's roll.
So there you get a sense of kind of what Jazz was like as the character on the show. And he was voiced by, I think, Scatman Carruthers, who was like some sort of a musician himself back in the day. I remember his name, but I wouldn't be able to put a face to a name. But as you can see from when he talks, he has got a very distinct kind of voice, and it played right into the nature of his character in the show, right? So he was one of my favorites after those guys for a couple of reasons. First, because his personality was so cool. His voice was so cool. His demeanor, he was a kind of a cool guy, right? And his love of music and blasting music loud, which I always appreciated myself, played right into that. And then as a kid, Porsches were like probably my favorite vehicle growing up. My favorite vehicles have changed over the years. You know, for a while the Dodge Viper became my favorite car, and then Ferraris took over as my favorite vehicle. But Porsches growing up were my favorite types of car, and they're still, you know, I don't know if I could pick a favorite these days, but they would definitely be in the running. So his vehicle mode as a Porsche was like, oh my god, I love this guy, right? So he was, and being one of the Optimus Prime's top lieutenants, and also being a good warrior, he was no slouch in battle too. He could take care of himself. So that all made me kind of love Jazz as a character and made him one of my favorites. So let's, as you can see, this is not a Masterpiece toy. This is like Power Glide was. He was a different brand, but Masterpiece scale. And that's what this one is too. It's a EX Zeta, I think is the brand, but he's Masterpiece scale, so he should fit right in with the other guys I've opened up. So let's open them up and we will see for ourselves. All right, here we go with Jazz, or Jazzy as he's known on this one. Some instructions in a Ziploc, baby, that's what I like. So there's the instructions, and look at that, looks like he's got fat back tires. Oh baby, I'm liking this more and more. And this one also comes with a card. As you know, the Masterpiece ones come with a little card with some artwork and stuff. The Power Glide one from that brand didn't, but this one did. Very cool. Let's see. Much like the Power Glide one as well, the Masterpiece always seem to come in the box in their vehicle mode, whereas the Power Glide character and now Jazz, they have come in their robot mode. And here is a little bag of goodies. Oh wow. Looks like we got his speakers for blasting the tunes. A rope for some reason. This is curious. Oh, the grappling hook, that's what that is. That goes on that. And then sort of a missile. Ooh, alternate heads. Looks like, yeah, he's got a couple different head options. He seems to be yelling or screaming in that one. And then that one looks like, oh, probably the wind up for the grappling hook. Yep. So there's some options for the Jazz Man. So, what's in here? Oh, yeah, weapons. Interesting. So there's looks like a shoulder-mounted blaster of some sort. Or actually, he could hold that in his hand. I'm not sure how these fists work yet. And then that one maybe is a shoulder-mounted one with the missile, looks like. Doesn't seem to want to stay, but no biggie. All right, so let's get this guy out of there. Oh, baby. Look at that work of art. Don't want to start yanking on him yet without reading the instructions, but there he is with his fist not out and stuff, but and he seems to be, yeah, he's mostly metal and not plastic like the other ones, so yeah, this is a little different than the other ones, but as you can see, yeah, and rubber on the tires instead of plastic, so ooh, I like this one. This one seems to be a little more robust than the other ones so far. And it also maybe looks like it might have an easier transforming process too. It looks like a lot less complications there, just at first glance anyways. So yeah, I'm impressed so far. That is a very awesome looking toy. So I am going to go over to time lapse and transform him into his vehicle mode, and we'll see what the Porsche looks like. And yeah, we'll get this going. All right, BoobTube, I'm back. As you can see, during all this action, a little friend has joined me to see what's going on. She always likes to smell things. Look at that. Yeah? There you go. When I was trying to thread the grappling hook string, she was like, oh. She was all over that. But yeah, so I don't know if you could tell through the time-lapse video, but this is the first unsuccessful transformation I have had. Why are you biting me? Eh? Licks only, licks only. I love this likeness of Jazz. I love the detail on the paint job. I love the fact that a lot of it is metal. I love the rubber tires and the fact that they made the rims look really authentic and everything. Some things that I didn't like was that I couldn't get it transformed. It was the problem I encountered was up under his hood when I was trying to tuck the arms in and flip them so the wheels could come out. There wasn't enough space underneath for both arms to fit in. It was like they miscalculated or something when they were making the mold, or either I was totally missing some sort of step in there that was blatantly obvious, but apparently wasn't to me. And I tried it a bunch of different ways. I tried fiddling around with it and it just wouldn't go. And at that point, I didn't want to risk breaking something and having this kind of go all for naught, you know. All they're doing is I'm not playing with these, you know, like I used to as a kid and wear them out. These are going on a shelf in robot mode because that's the way I like them. To be kind of collected and not played with. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let it be. So there were some pros and some cons to this particular one. The Masterpiece line seems to be the best so far in terms of overall value, transformation process, and everything just fitting together and being consistent. This one, I wish more things could be made of the metal with the rubber tires and everything, and it lends it a bit more realism and authenticity, but the Masterpiece line seems to be the best combination of everything. And but either way, this thing is awesome. I love this toy. I really wish I could have seen it in its Porsche mode, because when I kind of got it as far as I could and laid it down, like you could see it as it would come together into a car, that it was going to look like awesome. But it is what it is. It's still gonna look awesome on my shelf. I've still got him in robot mode. He's amazing, and I can't wait to get him down there. And as for next week, I'm now moving. I've got to a point where I've got through all of these size or smaller robots, characters, and the ones that I'm going to be starting on next week, they're going to get a little bit bigger than this, and they're going to get bigger and bigger as we kind of come to a close on at least the ones that I've got collected for now. And the one I'm going to start with next week is actually, there's going to be 2 in a row that are very similar to each other, and were some of my favorite characters that came along a little later in the series, not super late, but later than the original cast, and that I always wanted their toys as a kid and never had them, and they were some of my favorite characters. And like I said, they're a little bit bigger, they're probably going to be a little more complex to transform and such, but I can't wait to open them up and see what they look like, because I was looking forward to doing this for a long time. And it's been really hard to start with the smaller characters and work my way up, because there's so many guys that are still to come that I've just wanted to get into right away, but I've been self-disciplining and getting through them one by one, smallest to biggest. So until next week, Jazz is the newest acquisition, and I'll just have to leave you in suspense as to who is coming next week. Sayonara.